What is going down, Niner Empire? YouTube, it's your boy, Danny G. TV in the house. Of course, it was awesome on Sunday seeing that Niners dominant win. Hey, although the final score may not have been a dominant final score, it was an absolute dominant win against the hated rival Dallas Cowboys. Niners just march into Jerry's World, march into AT&T Stadium, and get the win 23-17. The Elijah Mitchell touchdown on that first drive, followed by 3 Robbie Gould field goals. The rushing touchdown to Debo Do-It-All Samuel in the third quarter.
Debo can do it all. Samuel, you had a crazy game. You was doing it all. 100 total yards and a touchdown. How does it feel being mentioned as a running back and a wide receiver?
I mean, it's just amazing, man. I don't second question anything Kyle asked me to do.
It's pretty much all they needed to do. That, along with the dominant defensive performance on Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and the Cowboys offense by the Niners D-line. Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead had a hell of a game. The secondary had a hell of a game as well. The defense did what they needed to do. That fourth quarter, it got kind of nerve-wracking, definitely did. After that Jimmy no throw, that Jimmy interception in the fourth quarter when it was 23-10, that set up the touchdown, which made it a 23-17 game, which of course ended up being the final score, but it was very nerve-wracking, and a lot of people were worried. A lot of us were worried that the Niners were going to somehow blow this game, that they've been dominating for most of it, but they hold on, and that last drive was definitely nerve-wracking when the Niners, when it was 4th and inches, and they got it with the QB sneak with Jimmy, but then Trent Williams wasn't set right, and they're forced to punt. Giving the Cowboys the ball back with that little time left, down by a touchdown, was definitely very nerve-wracking. But, of course, in classic Cowboy fashion, Dak and the Cowboys mess up the clock management at the end, and they don't even get to run that final play as the Niners seal the deal. What an epic game that was. That was definitely the return of the rivalry, and it was definitely awesome to see the reaction from some Cowboy fans. And it was crazy seeing Dak Prescott so shaken up by the loss that he said something stupid and horrible that he clearly doesn't mean. But, bro, what are you saying?
It's sad. I mean, you're talking about a team, you're talking about men that come out each and every day of their lives and give everything to this sport, give everything to this game of football.
I think they were aiming at the referees.
Yeah, they were at the referees. Well, shit, credit to them then.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They weren't doing it.
Oh, credit to them.
We go from beating one historic playoff rival to playing another. Now, this team, the Green Bay Packers and Niners in the last decade, are 3-0 in the playoffs against. And Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, of course, Aaron Rodgers more specifically, is 0-3 against the 49ers. Now, in my lifetime, I've seen all 3 of these games, of course, since I've been a fan since 2007. A 2011-2012 game, Kaepernick had a dominant performance at Candlestick. That was incredible. That was epic. You just knew that was going to be a special year. Of course, the Niners fall short to the Ravens in the Super Bowl that year, but you just knew that it was just going to be that they could make it to the Super Bowl. And they had a chance to win it all that year because that was just a stacked team. And Frank Gore had a monster game as well. And then 2013, 2014. Which, of course, was the last time the Niners had played the Packers at Lambeau Field until Saturday of this week, as they got the win 23-20 at Lambeau Field. And then, of course, a couple years ago, January 19th, 2020, 4 rushing touchdowns by Raheem Mostert, and the Niners defense just absolutely dominated Aaron Rodgers, and that's what they're going to have to do in this game, because Aaron Rodgers has not thrown an interception since late November. So are going to have to be pressuring him because they cannot rely on him to make mistakes with his arm. Aaron Rodgers, when he throws the ball, he's dominant. But if they can bring the pressure, they can get in his face, then it's going to be and make it tough for him. Then they got a good shot of winning this game. And of course, earlier that season in November of 2019, the Niners also scored 37 points against the Packers, and they just absolutely dominated Aaron Rodgers as well then too. And so they just gotta bring the pressure on. They gotta get in his face. Hopefully Nick Bosa will play, but if not, Eric Armstead, expecting him to have a big game again as well. And now the injury to Fred Warner as well was definitely very scary, of course. But he tweeted, he said that he's going to be good to go. So most likely we will see Fred Warner play. Nick Bosa is questionable. But we're going to need to have our defense is going to need to have a big game because you're going into freezing cold Lambeau Field. And you're facing Aaron Rodgers and the Packers that are the number 1 seed. You know, the Niners have the Packers number. They absolutely can beat them, but the Packers are definitely going to be favored to win this game. And I'm not going to make a video talking about how the Niners are definitely going to march into Lambeau Field and they're going to beat the Packers because that's just not realistic. But I am definitely being realistic when I say they can win this game. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo. I've been calling for Trey Lance to start when Jimmy struggled. Of course, I wanted Jimmy to be the starter this year, but I definitely wanted to see more of Trey Lance. And earlier in the season we did. Now, the Niners played the Packers in week 3 of this year. Then they lost by a field goal. It was a game they were down 14-0. They came back and they made it a game. And they very well should have won that game, people might say. And, well, we have a running game now. Elijah Mitchell did not play that game. And now our running game is dominant. Elijah is just on fire. And, of course, the Packers are... Hopefully, we can have Elijah Mitchell have maybe not. I don't think it's going to be possible for him to have as good a game as Raheem Mostert had against them in the NFC Championship game a couple years ago. But do not be surprised if we do see a big game from Elijah Mitchell. But Jimmy, he's had definitely some struggles. You know, he had that horrible. He had those atrocious interceptions in both the Rams game and in the Cowboys game, but he still bounced back and he still got the job done. So I thought I would wear my Jimmy jersey here for the first time about to show my support. Hopefully Jimmy does what he needs to do to win, like he's done the last couple weeks. Be the game manager that he is, because he's really good at managing the game. And I'll say this: Jimmy in the postseason right now looks a lot better than he did in the postseason a couple years ago. Kyle Shanahan actually trusts him now. In that Vikings game and in the Packer game a couple years ago, you could just see that Kyle Shanahan did not trust him, and that's, well, so he threw that interception in the Vikings game, and we just basically saw nothing but running plays after that. And then in the Packers game, in the NFC Championship game, he only threw the ball 8 times. Now we actually see that he's making a lot more of his throws. He's hitting Ayuk, he's hitting Juwan Jennings. I'm hoping that we see more of George Kittle, because George Kittle's kind of been a non-factor. He was kind of a non-factor in that game. He only had 1 catch for 18 yards against the Cowboys. So hopefully we can see George Kittle make some plays. Hopefully we see Jimmy target Kittle more. I'm expecting Debo to have another big game rushing, but hopefully we can also see Jimmy connecting throws to Debo as well. But I do not be surprised if we see more Debo, the running back, in this game. Juwan Jennings, of course, the last couple games has been on fire. Now, what I was getting to with Trey, though, is in that Packers game, week 3, we saw in the red zone Kyle Shanahan use the Trey Lance package. We saw him just come in unexpectedly and just run for the touchdown. I would not be surprised if for the first time in a long time we see more Trey red zone packages in this game. That'll catch the Packers off guard, because they're probably, although we have used that against them, you know, they're aware that we have not used Trey in those packages at all as of late. So I would not be surprised if we see Kyle Shanahan use Trey, but I'm hoping that Jimmy has the game that he needs to have, because again, if they lose, this could be his last game as a 49er. And Jimmy does not want this to be his last game as a 49er. He wants to end his career as a 49er with that 6th ring. Or, hey, if that does happen, then who knows? There will definitely be talk about him coming back next year. There definitely will be people still saying, hey, Trey's not ready yet. Trey's not ready yet. They gave up a lot for him, but, he's just... Jimmy won the Super Bowl, of course. Let him start. There will definitely be that talk. And there's a scenario where Jimmy will win the Super Bowl and we'll trade him for a first-round pick or something. But regardless, and I'm not going to sit here, I'm not saying that Jimmy is going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. But what I am going to say is they absolutely can beat the Green Bay Packers. Jimmy Garoppolo absolutely can beat the Green Bay Packers. He's played so much better in the postseason, with that game, in that Cowboy game, and in that Rams game, which, although it was still the regular season, it was definitely a playoff game in the sense that it was a must-win game. So Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not the same quarterback that he even was a couple years ago, because you can argue that it was the running game and the defense that took him to the Super Bowl. But now we're seeing all three of them click. We're seeing Jimmy click, though he definitely still struggles. He definitely has these questionable throws that makes everyone shake their head. That definitely does happen, but he still gets the job done. His record speaks for himself, and he definitely can beat the Green Bay Packers. And we got to stop Aaron Rodgers. We got to stop Aaron Jones. We got to stop Devontae Adams. The defense needs to be on top of its game. The secondary has played very well as of late. Emmanuel Mosley, Arden Key, Ambry Thomas. Secondary has been playing really well, and the defensive line has been on fire as well. And it's really good that Fred Warner is going to play, because that injury is very scary. And if Nick Bosa isn't going to go, then you definitely cannot have two of your defensive stars out for a big game like this. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. Danny G is out. Let's get this win. Let's go, Niners. I'm out. Peace.
So, this is between me and you. Do you think it's 49ers year? Do you think you guys are going to the Super Bowl?
I think so. We got one at a time, though. One at a time.
I see you. Man,
Appreciate you.
great game,
Thank
man.
you, man.